Okay, you want to see something that's like really cool? This is a functioning Camry on a board. And by functioning, I mean like when it is turned on, all these things like actually work, like all the buttons. You can turn the stereo on, you can listen to it. It's got rear defrost. Now we're on. Open the door. Maybe turn the hazards on. What about the wipers? Or heck, maybe we just start it. No, I want to adjust my seats. Heck, let's turn the radio on. Power antenna. This is made by Toyota for technical education. So this is a trainer with all of you that were asking. It just has all the electronics to teach students on how to work on them. Wiggle wire. Wiggle wire is great for pulling out complex damages, creases, and even body lines. Ground wire. Press the wire into the repair, then button. Proceed to weld along the repair. This is where the finger pullers come in. Grab the wiggle wire, and then you can pull on it or pry on it with a pry bar or a bridge, which I do not have. Remember, as we pull up, we also hammer down the highs and twist off. Today it's the stud welder. So this method of dent removal, we're going to weld a stud onto the low spot of the panel and pull up while we push down our highs. Slide your stud into the stud welder. So this welds by sending electricity through the tip and then out through the metal and into the collar. So you have to have a very good ground between both the tip and the collar. It won't weld directly to paint. I'm going to use this previous practice area with all this bare metal. Hold for just a few seconds, pull off. If you hold for too long, you're going to put holes in it. One of the techniques for setting up a paint gun is called a flood test. To perform this test, you need to turn your air cap vertical. Then you're going to hold your gun the same distance that you're about to spray. Then you're going to pull the trigger until the paint starts to run. Then you're going to read the run. This one's heavy in the middle. What we would like to see is this balanced all the way across the pattern. For heavy in the middle, we're going to either increase the pressure or we could widen our fan pattern. If it were the opposite, we could decrease the pressure or concentrate the fan pattern. When performing hammer and dolly repairs, you're actually squeezing the metal. It causes the metal to stretch out. Now the metal is longer than it used to be here. It still hasn't changed here or here. Since the metal is now longer and these two haven't changed, this causes what we call an oil can effect. To fix that, we use a shrinking hammer or heat shrinking. To heat shrink, we induce heat in one of multiple methods, and then we rapidly cool with a wet rag. This causes the top of the metal to cool faster than the bottom of the metal. The top of the metal is now contracting while the bottom is expanding, causing our metal to reset. So we've got rust on the inner and outer rockers of this truck we're redoing. And to remove this outer rocker, we're going to have to break some of these spot welds. Now there are many ways to do this, but the main two that I've seen is to use a spot weld drill or to use a handheld belt sander. Now when you're grinding these spot welds, it's important that you only go far enough that you take the outer panel off while salvaging the inner metal. So as you can see here, my students are practicing working on grinding their spot welds, trying to get through this outer layer of metal so that way we can remove this outer rocker without damaging the inner steel. We can also use this weld breaker. This one's by DentFix. So how we use this is we insert it between the two pieces of metal after grinding the welds, and then you hammer to break them free.